Good evening and thank you for joining us on KUTV News at 9.
You're right on time for our top stories and in the highlights tonight.
IEBC releases results of Phase 1 voter registration.
Deputy President William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang to know if they have a case to answer at the ICC early next month.
The National Police Service embarks on a journey to build its capacity.
And in sports, Gor Mahia anticipates victory ahead of the triumphant league battle as striker Tuyisenge makes a comeback to the Green Army. My name is Anki Doris Ombat.
And my name is Jesse Rogers. Thank you for joining us. Now, Deputy President William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang will know whether they have a case to answer at the International Criminal Court ICC as early as next month.
Judges at the Trial Chamber VA of the Hague-based court have set aside Tuesday, 5th April 2016 at 3:30 p.m. Hague time as the day on no case to answer motions that was sought by the Deputy President William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang's defense team.
Website. Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Sang will be required to be physically present in the courtroom to know their fate. According to the statement, Tuesday, 5th of April 2016 at 3:30 p.m. Hague time will be the day for the two facing criminal charges. The no case to answer motion was sought by the two in a bid to water down the cases facing them. Deputy President William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang had sought to terminate their case, citing lack of sufficient evidence by the Office of the Prosecutor to prove whether they have a case to answer. Ruto's defense team cited among the reasons why the DP should be acquitted of the charges as the prosecutor's failure to produce evidence that was key to its case. On the other hand, Sang's lawyer Katwa Kigen contends that his client did not have any hand in the 2008 post-election violence. Maggie Njoki, KUTV News at 9.
Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has released its report on the finalized Phase 1 of the concluded mass voter registration exercise. The report shows it has failed to meet its target of 4 million voters, having registered only 1.4 million. That is barely half of what it had targeted. Now, Nairobi County recorded the highest number of new registered voters, while counties like Vihiga recorded the lowest. The continuous voter registration will be conducted at the IEBC offices at the county level before the Phase 2 that is set to be conducted in 2017.
The first phase of the mass voter registration exercise came to a close on Tuesday, the 15th March, with the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission, IEBC, failing to meet its target of listing 4 million new voters. Given the reports they released Tuesday, only 34% of the targeted voters managed to register. The low turnout is being attributed to voter apathy, uncollected identity cards, and confusion over the rotation of BVR kits following IEBC lack of funds to acquire more gadgets. IEBC said the BVR machine being used in the registration exercise were enough, but the number of individuals seeking to be listed was minimal. Data from each county received indicates that Nairobi County has the highest number of new registered voters, followed by Kiambu, Kisumu, and Kakamega, respectively. Only 7 counties managed to get 50% and above of their set targets, that is Kajiado, Marsabit, Tana River, Narok, Migori, Kiambu, and Siaya. Further, 5 other counties, namely Elgeyo Marakwet, Taita Taveta, Embu, Kilifi, and Vihiga, obtained less than 25% of their set targets. It was observed that more than 400 voters applied for the transfers from one station to another, with plans being made to commence registration of voters in Kericho and Malindi constituency owing to the by-elections. IEBC Chairman Isaac Hassan noted that the mass voter registration was not a new registration, but a campaign to scale up the continuous voter registration, which has been going on all IEBC constituency offices since 2014. Voter registration is expected to be extended to Kenyan citizens residing outside Kenya in the next phase, planned for early 2017. What now remains to be seen is the extension of the registration drive given the directive by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Irene Mwangi, KUTV.
Now, the National Police Service Commission has today embarked on a journey to recruit 10,000 officers and police constables to join the police force in an effort to build its capacity. The process is set to commence on Monday, 4th April at 8 a.m. to run till 5 p.m. It will be conducted in 331 recruitment centers spread out in all the 290 constituencies across the country.
After the bungled recruitment process in 2015, the National Police Service Commission has embarked on the recruitment of 10,000 officers to be trained to join the National Police Service.
The successful passing out of these officers that are going to be recruited will, in no doubt, bring our ratio of police to the public closer to internationally recognized standards.
It will be conducted in 331 recruitment centers spread out in all the 290 constituencies across the country.
And we have taken cognizance of the need to have a recruitment that is going to expose the young men and the women to policing standards during the process of their training that will meet the immediate demands of this country, which should be secured in a manner that is reflective of the conditions under which we live today.
No police service apart from those appointed by the Inspector General to oversee this year's recruitment shall be allowed within the premises of the recruitment centers.
Apart from those duly appointed by the Inspector General to oversee this year's recruitment shall be allowed within the precincts of the recruiting centers.
The recruitment exercise is free of charge. Any applicant who directly or indirectly canvasses will not only be disqualified, but further face full force of the law, which is 10 years in prison. Full details of the process will be published in the local newspapers on Friday. Anne Macharia, KUTV.
Now, a man who is alleged to be part of an international cartel dealing in illegal trophies has been arrested today in Githurai Kimbo area, and 39 elephant tusks recovered from him. Thomas Mohoro Ngatia, who's 35 years of age, was arrested in a dawn raid by officers from the Special Crime Prevention Unit who had been tipped off. The recovered elephant tusk weighed 112 kilograms and is valued at 11.2 million shillings.
The 39 elephant tusks recovered from the man range from old to young elephants that appear to have been killed at different times. The Director of Criminal Investigations, Gor Mahia, said that the man arrested today is believed to be part of an international cartel dealing in the illegal trophies.
This particular one, I think, is really going to open up for us in terms of who are involved and where they are and which criminal gangs are connected to which one. It's some good job that has been done, and I thank the members of the public who've given us this information.
Mohoro said they are yet to know if the animals were killed in the country or neighboring countries. The DCI also said they recovered a funeral program of one Frederick Muchina, who was last year killed after being linked to an international cartel dealing in ivory. The program was found in Ngati's house, indicating he was a friend or part of the group.
We want to see if he's going to be open with us, how much we can get to those other people involved. There's a Nigerian being mentioned. We'll get to know who it is, and it's a matter that I want to assure Kenyans that you're going to investigate.
The house is believed to be owned by the suspect's sister, who is out of the country. Locals say the suspect usually came home late in the night.
Na watu walikuwa wanafikiria nyumba 10 ni kuhesabu 1, 2, 3 mpaka 10. Lakini nyumba 10 ni kujuana na kujua vile mtu anafanya katika area yako.
Mohoro revealed that they have established an environmental unit within the DCI to address the problem and other related issues. The unit will work with Kenya Wildlife Services and Kenya Forest Service to address the menace. Reporting for KUTV, I am Noah Kipkemboy.
And now, Deputy President William Ruto paid a courtesy call to the Grand Bassam Beach Resort in Cote d'Ivoire near Abidjan, where terrorists killed 20 people last week. Ruto, who is in Abidjan to attend the Africa CEO conference, conveyed condolences to the government and people of Ivory Coast, including the victims of the heinous terror attack, saying Kenya stands with them in this time of grief and against the fight against terror.
Speaking when he visited Bassam City near Abidjan, the Deputy President William Ruto condemned the heinous attack by terrorists, expressing deep sympathy towards the victims.
And we have come here from the rest of Africa, and specifically from Kenya, to stand in solidarity with the people of Ivory Coast and to confirm to them that that which terrorists thought they would achieve in this country.
Ruto said the terrorists have failed in their mission since Ivory Coast has still managed to host a huge CEO conference. He urged the international community to unite in the fight against terrorism.
Terrorists will not succeed in scaring away people from this continent, or this country for that matter, or scaring away investment, or changing our way of life.
20 people were killed during the terror attack at a Toile de Sud hotel recently. For KUTV, I'm Corazon Safan.
Well, we now take a very short break, but we'll be back with more news. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to Kenyatta University's Baby Daycare Center for professional care of your little ones. Our facilities include spacious playgrounds, varied toys, sleeping rooms, lactation room, first aid kits, and many more, all in a well-kept and secure environment. Our services include age-structured activities, health and nutrition status monitoring, controlling and preventing the spread of communicable illnesses, checking vital baby signs, basic learning and life skills, all provided by trained and professional caregivers. Our charges are 6,000 shillings per month, 350 shillings per day, or 200 shillings for half day. Contact us on 0710-646-426 or babydaycare@ku.ac.ke, or you can visit us at Kenyatta University main campus on Ghana Street House 10 for more information. Now welcome back to KUTV News at 9.
Now, Kenyans have been urged to embrace the culture of growing trees as the world marks the International Day of Forest. This year's celebration seeks to provide a platform to raise awareness of importance of forest and its critical role in regulating water systems nationally. Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Regional Development, Professor Judy Wakungu, while speaking yesterday in Chemususu, Baringo County during International Day of Forest, said trees and forests deserve to be celebrated at every moment and opportunity in our lives.
I am pleased to join you today to mark the International Day of Forests for the year 2016. This global celebration of forests provides a platform to raise awareness of the importance of all types of forests and trees outside forests. The theme for this year's International Day of Forests, which we are marking here today, is Forests and Water, which resonates well with the critical role that our forests play in regulating our water supply systems nationally. Ladies and gentlemen, our forests and trees deserve to be celebrated at every moment and opportunity in our lives.
The celebrations, which are held annually globally, provide a platform to raise awareness on the importance of forests and its critical role in regulating water systems nationally. Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboy, who was also present in the celebrations, pointed out the need to increase the rate of planting more trees and reducing harvesting them.
Without forests, our agriculture will be nothing to sing home about. Without forests, our animals in the ecosystem will be nothing to sing home about. So our tourism will not flourish. The speed of replanting should be higher than the speed of harvesting.
He also appealed to the government to fast-track the issuing of title deeds for people who are living in the gazetted forest in Baringo County.
Now, St. John Nyamwaga Boys High School in Kisii Town, Kisii County, has been closed for 2 weeks to give way for investigations after an arson attack. Property worth millions of shillings was destroyed in the incident, causing education leaders in the county and the board chairman to raise concern. No casualties were reported.
With cases of fire outbreaks being rampant in many schools in Kisii County, now St. John's Nyamwaga Boys High School has fell victim, leading to the school bomb closure for 2 weeks to pave way for investigations. The arson attack was nothing unprecedented since last year an adjacent dormitory, which was yet to be constructed, suffered the same fate. No casualties were reported in these incidents, though property worth millions of shillings was lost. Leaders are now raising concern, including Kisii County Director of Education, Richard Chepkawai, stating that it did not augur well for the parents and the government investment efforts.
So I want to emphasize to parents that once the school has been closed for 2 weeks, let them interview their boys, their sons, and get information on what the real reason of these boys burning the dormitory is. Otherwise, it is not a good direction that we are getting a lot of property burned down in a very simple way without any apparent reason.
County Education Board Chairman Henry Onderi raised concern on how incidents of unrest in 7 schools in the county could occur.
And I want to congratulate the boards of management who have taken a step immediately to have the students excluded from the schools for the next 2 weeks, pending the investigations. This is as per the Basic Education Act.
NAT Gucha Branch Executive Secretary Lucy Machuki also condemned the incidents and called for thorough investigations by the relevant authorities.
Our boys has been burnt again. I understand this is the 2nd episode, and I want to say I also condemn the act so much, and I want to call upon the agencies, that is the relevant agencies, to come and conduct an investigation, and we would like that we don't see the same again.
School Principal James Mabea could not be reached for comments since he was holed up in a crisis meeting. Irene Mwangi, KUTV.
Now, Thika residents are up in arms with industries in the town for what they call emitting waste into the rivers in the area. Now, the rivers, which are the main source of water for drinking, cooking and washing, are being polluted by companies said to have cut terraces, which they serve as a main drainage system to pour water into the rivers.
It is a tragedy, one that is written in the flora and fauna of the beautiful town of Thika in Kiambu County. Rivers in the area have now turned into dumping sites of industrial waste in the area. After a long silence, the residents have now come out in arms in a bid to claim their source of the water they use in their day-to-day lives.
BAT miaka 10 iliyopita walikata mtaro wakapitisha pale kwa Madharau, na hiyo mtaro wanamwaka ile akoteini zao zote hapo. Kwa hiyo maji maoili wanamwaka hapo, na hiyo maji yote inakuja kwa hii mto ya Thika.
Thomas Ngaruya, a seasoned fisherman who has for a long time depended on this river, feels like his life is being threatened.
Saa zingine ukiingia ndani huwa inadhuru ngozi yako.
Mema wakija, hata tukilalamika kwa mema, hawatufanyii chochote. Sijui kama wanapatiwa mugula wa pesa, sijui wanafanyiwa nini. Hii neema imetusumbua. Kwa hivyo hata kama wanalipwa mshahara, ni heli iondolewe, tutengenezewe neema nyingine badala hiyo.
The Kiambu County Government Environment Director Andrew Kimani who has witnessed the pollution, has revealed that the area British America tobacco manager is now being locked at Thika police station, awaiting to be arraigned in court.
And we are saying that all companies should pre-treat their waste and not dispose them into the environment.
Nancy Okware, KUTV.
Now on to some serious international news. More than 30 people have been killed and over 100 people injured in two separate terrorist attacks at Brussels International Airport and a city metro station. The attacks come 4 days after Saleh Abdeslam, the main fugitive in the Paris attacks, was seized in Brussels.
Two explosions tore through the departure areas of Brussels International Airport shortly after 8 a.m. local time. One was a suspected suicide bomb. An hour later, Malbec metro station was hit by an explosion, killing at least 15 people and injuring 55 others. Prime Minister Charles Michael says the attacks are blind, violent and cowardly. He also says that they were a tragic moment in the country's history.
Your strong message of support to Jordan, and we stand with you today and with our friends in Europe and with all peace-loving nations
We believe that the message that is coming from a man constantly and consistently of an Islam that is an Islam of peace and dialogue and cooperation is what we need in this moment, here in the region and in Europe. I will stop here. You will understand this. Today is a difficult day.
The attacks at the airport and metro station come 4 days after the arrest of Salah Abdeslam in Brussels, who was the main fugitive in the November militant attacks in Paris. Reporting for KUTV, I'm Jesse Rogers. Well, we now take a very short break, but we'll be back with sports. Do stay with us.
The unexpected happens.
I noticed to vacate this premise in 48 hours.
What? Some people are not sure about their duty.
Wewe, mtu anakuja hapa labda kunyang'anya kazi na kwa pale unasema you know him. Tumia akili.
People will talk malice.
Kwanza anakapoa, at least ataleta some freshness in the office.
Hapo pa freshness ndio umeongea, don't tunahitaji.
Kabisa.
Ushaba. Peleka ushavo na uze.
Snoopy's knows where it's not needed.
How come unakula kwa ofisi?
Oh, unataka kwani nimkaribishe?
Taki.
Kwani wewe huko umekula huko nje?
They will do anything to be relieved from job.
Buro na kunywa mkojo.
Ile ugonjwa ya diabetes.
Si mgonjwa popote, huyo nataka ndio manager ampatie sick leave aende nyumbani. Hakuna cha ugonjwa.
Coming soon on KUTV.
Welcome back, and now in the world of sports.
Now, Gor Mahia will be smiling the way to a triumphant league battle as striker Jacques Tuyisenge returns. The 25-year-old striker's return could not come at a better time, especially now that Gor is struggling in the attack.
SportPesa Premier League champions Gor Mahia have now received a shot in the arm with Jacques Tuyisenge returning to full fitness ahead of the match this weekend. The striker who joined Gor Mahia from Rwanda FC Police on a $4 million move is expected to make his long-awaited debut for Kogalo when the league resumes next weekend. The 25-year-old skippered Rwanda at the CHAN 2016 as well as last year's CECAFA Senior Challenge Cup. The striker is yet featured on for the Gor Mahia due to a tendon injury that he attained during the national duty in February.
Or a throw-in.
It has not been business as usual for Gor Mahia since the departure of Medi Kagere, Michael Olunga and Ali Abondo, who scored 65 goals between them last season, helping Kogalo defend the title for the third season in a row. Kome Kazungu reporting for KUTV.
Now, the government has allocated 1 billion shillings towards preparations for the 2017 IAAF World Under-18 Championships and Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya. The allocation to the agency is a further boost to Kenya's chances of evading the April 5th deadline set by the World Anti-Doping Agency to comply with the conditions it set or risk international sporting ban, a move that the country cannot stomach, especially with the Rio Olympics closing in.
Ferguson coming in strongly. It is the battle for one of them. Alfred and Ferguson. We now pass on the battles. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Italian champion, Simone Kipchumba, Cornelius Kiplagat, who is gonna make it for the 4x100. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion, Simone Kipchumba. Let's appreciate him once again. Amazing performance. Back to you.
Now, it was not all milk and honey for the Kenyan athletics team in the IAAF World Indoor Championships in Portland, USA. Now, the country managed to finish at 25th position with only 2 bronze medals from Margaret Nyairera and Augustine Choge in the 800 meters and 3,000 meters race, respectively. Kenyan's previous track performances have been eye-catching, with excellent outcomes from the athletes, contrast to last night's performance, which was below expectation.
But at middle distances, even through the early laps of the women 3,000 meters final, there was an overwhelming sense of inevitability about the result. Once again, it all went to the script for Genzebe Dibaba, as it has so many times in the recent years. The Ethiopian cruised to victory and a third world indoor title and challenged in 8:44 ahead of teammate Meseret Defar.
That's Saina from Kenya.
Kenya's USA-based Betty Saina finished 7th in 9 minutes and 1 second, while compatriot Nancy Chepkemoi was placed 10th in 9 minutes and 7 seconds later. Dibaba swept to the front of the field, lifting paces several notches higher, and the only one to give immediate chase was Britain's Steve Twell.
An Ethiopian double coming through to take the bell, and will she put on a show for the last lap?
It was, however, a bad night for Kenya charges, with the country finishing 25th, the 2 bronze medals from Margaret Nyairera in the 800 meters and Augustine Choge in the 3,000 meters. Unlike in the last edition in support Poland, where Kenya finished on position 10, with 2 medals, gold and silver from Caleb Ndiko and Helen Obiri, this year's outing was below par.
It's just the Moroccan.
In Portland, Caleb Ndiku could not be able to defend his 3,000 crown after Ethiopia's Africa 5,000 champion Emil Kelecha struck gold medal in 7 minutes and 57 seconds, ahead of the homeboy Ryan and Augustine Choge.
Blistering so far in the winter on the newly created...
Ndiku finished 5th in 7 minutes and 58 seconds, while Issa Kiplangat, the 2013 World 5,000 bronze medalist, finished 8th after 8 minutes. Kome Kazungu, reporting for KUTV.
Those powerful legs of his is a super build.
Well, I hope that is not a sign for things to come for the Kenyan athletics team.
We want to remain positive that Kenya will resume its right place in the athletic world.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for being with us tonight. Hope to see you again. But for now, my name is Anki Doris Ombat.
And my name is Jesse Rogers.
Good evening.